I don't know if you're allowed to give me spoilers, but like, okay, so when I was doing my research, like obviously Giselle and you, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I was like, it makes sense to me. But are you able to say if you guys are actually like together, or is that like you have to say hush hush on that? Because like the last report I saw was that she said that she was talking with you and plans to hang out with you in LA.
We are not together. We are friends and
Okay.
we communicate periodically, but we're not together.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So Love Hotel did not capture your heart. Well, it clearly
Nope.
wasn't for you, but for the
No,
women. But I mean, was it a good experience?
it was a great experience.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. They treated us very well, very
Hmm.
professional, very polite. Um, and the place that we stayed in was phenomenal.
Is it kind of similar to like a Love Island, but like an older version, a mature version of like a Love
Yeah, I would say
Island?
so.
Yeah. Okay.
Mature version of a Love Island. It
Okay.
was in a beautiful resort in Cabo, right on the water. Um,
Yeah, I saw
you
the
know,
stock photos from it. I was like, oh,
food and beverages. It was really the staff. The staff was
was
great.
everyone? Oh, yay.
Yeah,
Okay.
very nice. Everyone. So it was a really good
Good
experience.
experience. You got a little bit of a tan. Okay, so I'm actually gonna start my questions from the top. It's just because I'm nosy as hell. I wanted to get to the end first, like I typically do, and then I'm gonna go back. I was just like, I'm just nosy as hell. But okay,
You are. I know you.
but you do, but it wouldn't be me if I wasn't nosy. You'd be like, something's happened to her. Okay, so the first question is, how would you introduce yourself to people who are unaware of you?
Well, my name is Phill Westbrooks. I'm
Mhm,
from Chandler, Arizona, small
mhm,
town in the Phoenix area. Had a wonderful upbringing with my grandparents, my mom, my family. Very spiritual upbringing. Financially challenged, I would say. My grandparents were on financial assistance and food, Social
mhm,
Security and food stamps, all that type of stuff. Very small house. It was a two-bedroom house, one for the grandparents, and I had a small room myself.
mhm.
But in that same house, they raised nine children. I don't know
Amazing.
how they did it, but a two-bedroom house and nine children, but they did. So that's a little bit about my upbringing. I do speak Spanish. I'm fluent in Spanish, so I enjoy my Latino heritage and background as well as my African American background. And I had a really cool upbringing. I got to make a lot of good friends, played high school sports, went on to college, got college degrees, that type of stuff. So
Amazing. Okay, so kind of introduce yourself. So you're actually like multi-hyphenated. So yes, the Love Hotel is just one of a long, long list. So I would just say like, you know how people typically put themselves in a box and they're saying like, oh, I can only do this or I can only do that. What gave you, especially as you just stated, coming from I would say an environment where typically you wouldn't necessarily think to dream big or to dream about multiple possibilities. So what made you not only decide to be so multi-hyphenated, and when I say multi-hyphenated, I mean philanthropist, producer, I guess now reality star, an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur. But like honestly, like what made you even have the confidence to do so many things and be so many things to so many people? And but stay true to yourself.
very good question. And I go back to the old saying, thank you. Very, very good question. And it's true, what you said about being multifaceted and so forth. But I think it comes from that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
Mhm.
And so I had, great parents, grandparents, I should say, who raised me. My mom was there. My father passed away when I was very young, so he wasn't around. But I had a village of other parents who would help in the neighborhood, good friends, small community. We all knew each other, looked out for each other. So I think that helped. I was very shy in the beginning. I would say my early years up to maybe junior high school, pretty shy and still considered somewhat quiet. Um, from my friends. That's what they tell me anyway. But I think over time in playing sports gives you confidence. Um, Good friends, being around good people, like I said, village to raise a child, coaches, teachers, those people around you who help you build confidence and believe in you makes you want to believe in yourself more. So I think that was a lot of it. And then I began to get my college degrees, my university degrees, and work in like government and healthcare. I ran for office, so you need a lot of confidence when you're going to run for public office. I was a city council member and a vice mayor for like 8 years. So that gave me a lot of confidence. And again, uh, being around CEOs, like, um, for example, working with the city manager, the police chief, the fire chief, the judge, the city clerk, working with all these high level people and high level departments helps. And then working with a lot of high level businesses helps, like Intel, Motorola. So you start to build your confidence as you start working in these areas, and it just starts to flow. And now I'm very comfortable with who I am, confident with who I am. And I am, like you said, being true to yourself. That has been a major theme for my life is stay true to myself and who I am, remember where I came from. Those types of things are very, very important to me. But excellent question.
Thank you. I'm actually kind of good at what I do.
You are.
So this kind of leads into my next question. So, um, with all the education that you got, why do you think education is so important? Obviously, we've heard all the quotes. Education is the stepping stone and the tool that bridges any gap. But what do you think it means to have not only education, but community? Like, let's say if somebody is reading this or watching this, and maybe they dream bigger than their environment, but they're the first ones that maybe want to get like maybe their family has a 4 year, but they want even more. They want an MBA or a JD, and their family's like, no, it's good enough. So do you think it's community that helps push a person to be maybe different and to keep striving for more? Or do you think do you think striving for more helps you create the community that best serves you?
Another great question. And I think it's both. I
Okay.
think, like for me, I always wanted something more inside, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure that I was enough to do it. I
Okay.
wasn't confident enough to say, oh, I want to start my own company. I
Mm-hmm.
want to work in film and fashion and music and be successful. I always like saw people on television or in films and said, oh, that's so cool. I would like to be like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really believe I could do it.
Okay.
And so once I started getting my education and the foundation of those things behind me, I thought, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're doing it, I can do it too. And so you start to work and build momentum. And so I think it works both ways. The community helps build you up, and then
Mm-hmm.
you start having confidence in yourself as well
Mm-hmm.
to build yourself up.
I love
And
that.
it kind of synchronizes, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is. Okay, so you touched on being an entrepreneur. So obviously, as you're growing, you work for other people to get the experience. Then
Right.
you do the entrepreneurship route. Most people think it's super easy. It's like an overnight success. It is
Wow.
so not. It's like literally 24/7, constantly working,
That's so
premature.
far from the truth.
It
Yeah.
is, but I think especially with social media nowadays, I think especially my generation and younger, we're so instant gratification. If it's not 30 seconds from like or less, we throw in the towel. So what do you think has allowed you to because to be an entrepreneur, you have to constantly reinvent yourself because nothing stays stagnant, just like we don't stay stagnant. So what advice would you give to like either a budding entrepreneur or an entrepreneur that is like, oh my gosh, this is taking so long. Like, what advice do you give?
Yeah. Yeah, again, your question is very much on point. And I think it comes down to having a mindset
Hmm.
and how you think, number one. So
Hmm.
believing in yourself, having passion in what you're doing, and that it's something that's helping to improve yourself or the community.
Okay.
So when that was my passion, that's how I started my business and my philosophy. I said, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
want to pick something
Mm-hmm.
that helps people.
Okay.
And then that was my first goal. And then two, I want to pick something that I can make a good living at. Like I can make a good, good amount of
Yeah.
money and make a good living at. So that was my mindset. And then after that, I think it's really about like discipline
Mm-hmm. I would
and
agree.
commitment and understanding that it's not going to happen overnight. And there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, twists and turns, all these types of things that happen that you just don't expect. And they
Yeah.
don't teach you this in school. So you just have to go through it.
You're
And,
like,
and that's why
when
I
did
said it
that happen?
becomes discipline. It's like, okay, this is not what I expected. I thought I would be much more successful by
Mm-hmm.
now. I'm not, but you just keep getting up every morning, pushing through and working smart, working hard, staying disciplined, staying focused. And then things start to happen. You start to meet people who are in this, in your same wavelength and vibrations and frequencies, and things start to elevate. And now you start making the breakthroughs. So
I
that's the
love
way it
that.
worked for me.
Okay, so just because you touched on fashion, I'm gonna ask you, what are your three staples of clothing that make you feel your most confident? Like for me, it's my dad's blazer. Like anytime I have like anything like I'm nervous about, I throw my dad's blazer on and like my favorite Jimmy shoes, and I'm like, I can do anything. But what are your three staples that make you feel like no matter what, even if you're not prepared, you still feel prepared?
Yeah. I think Blazer is one. Actually, I used to frequent this little social lounge, and I would always wear blazers, so they
Yeah,
nicknamed me Blazer.
stop. Did they really? How original. They're like, hey, Blazer, what's up?
Hey,
Okay.
Blazer.
Well,
So
now it
they
would be
kind of
funnier if it was a
one because
smoke
I
shop.
wore
It would be
what's
funnier
that?
if it was a smoke shop. Like if you like like you're blazing, like if you're smoking like a cigar or something. If it was a smoke shop, that'd be
Well,
funnier.
this was before like smoke shops and all that.
Oh,
I'm dating myself a little bit.
okay.
This was probably like 20, 30 years ago.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that would be that's pre me being legal. Yeah.
Stop it.
I'm just saying. But no. But no, that's
But
so
yeah, that's
a
that's so
blazer.
blazer.
Okay.
And I love a nice a pair of shoes. Now,
Okay.
whether it's a cool like dress up sneaker or nice shoes,
Hmm.
and then after that, it could be like some jeans, t-shirt, and I do like a good belt.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I like a nice belt. Sometimes I'll tuck my shirt in just to show the belt.
Okay.
Um,
Just to be funny.
or something you can't really see, but you can smell it.
Oh,
Cologne.
cologne.
I
Perfume for
love,
women.
yeah. So a
Yeah.
blazer, nice shoes, and a nice cologne.
Hmm.
I feel like,
You can
okay,
conquer the world.
I'm good.
Okay, wonderful. So now my next question, so it's kind of multifaceted like you are. So you start off in business, obviously, healthcare, governmental, which is very conservative. It's very, like you said, it's a very disciplined um, career,
Industry. Yeah,
industry and career. It's a very disciplined, you think, very buttoned up and conservative.
that's right.
Then you go into more of the fashion, the music. So it's like it now it's still a business. Fashion, music, the entertainment industry is still a business, but
Absolutely.
you have more room to play with your outside garb. You can be a little bit more avant-garde. You can, but still
Yeah.
business. But reality TV I know it is a business. I just haven't figured that one out yet. So what is the commonality? Like what made you decide to be like, "Hey, Love Hotel. This kind of makes sense like in terms of like what I've done so far, or did you just want a new cool experience and it literally had no rhyme or reason?"
I wanted a new cool experience.
Okay.
And the when I was approached, my
Mhm.
initial response was, no, I don't think I'd be a good fit. I'm more, like you said, more conservative, more
Mhm.
business entrepreneur. Um, but I do enjoy music and
Mhm.
film and fashion. So I said, this is more artistic. And I wanted to bring out some of my artistic personality.
Hmm.
And so that's why I said, okay, I'm going to try it. And I'm very happy I tried it. I
Okay.
met some great guys on the show. We still stay in touch. We have a group
That's
chat.
awesome.
The four ladies, most of us stay in touch, but I
Okay.
feel like we can always connect if we want to. So it was a really good experience. I'm glad I did it. But it was more to, I guess, go outside of my realm.
Your
Step
comfort
outside
zone.
of step outside of my comfort zone,
I love that.
which I
Uh,
definitely did.
okay, so you know how they say we grow or change as people every 7 years of our life. And touching earlier about how we said staying true to yourself. So as you grow and we evolve and we develop and our needs change, our wants change, how do you stay tr like how do you still stay true to yourself? Because we're always evolving and changing, but the essence of who we are, I don't believe changes. So how do you manage to, with all that life has to do with you, work, personal, all those things, and then just you as a person. How do you think you've managed to stay true, but also evolving and growing?
Yeah. So I think it comes from your upbringing and your community and your village, so to
Hmm.
speak. So, you're going to have those core values. If you've
Hmm.
been taught from the beginning that, spirituality is important and having a good spiritual connection is like of the utmost, that's going to stick with you for, probably for life.
Hmm.
If you come from a core value of family is next,
Hmm.
and then if you come from the core value of community and neighbors and those things are next,
Hmm.
then that's your core value. That's who you're going to be. It's hard to get away from that, for
Okay.
me anyway, because I constantly stick to that. And so each morning I have a ritual where, I pray, I meditate, I read something from a book or a verse that's uplifting or inspiring or just informational or enlightening. And
Hmm.
I think that helps me stay grounded and with my core value and remembering and knowing who I am.
I love that. So what are, well, it's a two-part question. What can people expect next from you? Like what exciting new things do you have in the works? And what do you hope that people really remember you for? If they say, oh my God, I saw this guy on Love Hotel, not just to be known as the guy from Love Hotel, but this guy is X, Y, and Z. He's a producer, he's that type of thing.
My main thing in life is to inspire,
Okay.
to just give people that inspiration and give them that hope, that belief that they can do more than what they're doing, and if they want to, and to help. I'm a humanitarian, so probably the next major things you'll see from me is more humanitarian philanthropic efforts here in the States and abroad, internationally.
Mhm.
You'll continue to see me working on more films, being with fashion brands, um, and being a part of music development as well. I
Awesome.
love all
Now,
those things, and so I.
Now, sorry,
Hmm?
with the philanthropic, will they see your government name or will they see your business name? Like what, like when people are looking for it and they'll be like, oh, that's his company
They'll
or
probably
both.
see both.
Okay.
I'm not, it's not as important for me to have my name out there for that. It's more about just giving back and helping people and inspiring people to give them that hope and that inspiration to be better and just to make the world a better place. More peace,
Right.
more love and respect for each other. That's just simple things. I
Right.
just, I just want that,
Why can't we all just get along? I feel like we're on the like why can't the Chinese on the news like why can't we all just get along? If we could just be nice to everybody, I feel like the world would be such a better place.
I
And
agree.
and then the last and I think most fun question is, what is your favorite way to unwind?
I like fitness.
Okay.
I enjoy fitness. I enjoy, hikes, bike rides, um, traveling. I've traveled a lot. I've been to over 60 countries. Um, I enjoy spending my time with family and friends and just relaxing and hanging out, and I also love to go to fashion shows, music concerts, check
But
out
that's how you
new
unwind
things.
though, Phil? Like after a long
That's,
stressful day. Like what do you do after
oh,
a long stress
unwind.
unwind?
I just go home. Yeah.
What do you do at home? Do you watch a game? Do you
No,
play Scrabble? Like, how do you unwind? Like,
I
what is
unwind by like just relaxing, maybe taking a walk around the
Mhm,
neighborhood and
mhm.
just enjoying nature. I take off my shoes and get in the backyard and put my feet on the grass and ground and connect with Mother Earth. So that's what I do to unwind and
Amazing.
take some deep breaths and relax, enjoy nature, and be grateful and thankful for my life because I'm healthy and I have healthy family and friends and community. So.
That's amazing. And then that concludes the conversation with your life.